Absolutely. That's very interesting right there.
I wanted to stay there a little, but let me allow you to.
I guess I just want to get into, the professionalism of these women to mentor others, and how long is this fellowship? Would it equip them enough? You said that they are going to eventually be some sort of facilitators to others and all of that. And it's quite, the Becky Initiative always comes up with this very impactful projects and initiatives as well that address the climate issues, not just for women, but for young people as well, the teenagers as well, and everyone included. So apart from the duration and the kind, how fast-paced it will be enough to equip them, do we have government support in all of this? The National Environment and Climate Change Policy of Nigeria, is it one that you are aligned with and collaborating with as well? And who are your other stakeholders, and who do you hope to further collaborate with?
Okay, so in terms of physical funding, that is cash. We do not have that from the government. But one of the things we are really grateful for is, over the years, we've been able to get people in the position of power show their support behind us. For example, for our climate change summit, we had the NCCC, the National Climate Change Commission, support us in terms of, they brought the lawyers that inaugurated our ambassadors, our climate change ambassadors in that event. Now, what we always intend to do or ensure that we do is that we're in line with what the government wants to build. For example, we saw, a fund has been released. We thought the next thing is, the government would obviously not give it to people that do not know anything about it, so we want to build them. Now, part of our faculty, we have a director, one of the top directors for the Ministry of Environment. We have the special advisor to the Lagos State government on climate change and the green economy. We have the top director at the Ministry of Science and Technology as part of our faculty members. These women are going to be training them. They have the knowledge. Now, while these ladies are not doing a 4-year degree course, if you are in Nigeria like I am, you would know that a 4-year degree course does not automatically mean that person understands and can fully implement that. Absolutely. That is why in Nigeria we would all agree, or at least can agree to an extent, that students who went through polytechnics used to do a lot better than those that went to.
Faith, I wish I could follow you in this argument, but people will come after me. Okay. And I know that the government has done its best to address this as well, just so that there's nobody who is treated less than the other. However, I also think we should bring back those technical schools and institutions that address hands-on this kind of solutions. But I am a bit frustrated. We did lots of innovations that, as a journalist, you go for these reports, and you see that these young people have done a lot. Some people produce clean stuff from basically nothing. I know a gentleman who does biochar from water hyacinth, and this is something that is so clean. It does not bring fumes. You could burn it and heat up your homes and also cook with it. It is so wonderful. It also helps plants to absorb nutrients and not in erosion-prone places and all that. But the support is often very difficult. While we are here excited that the Becky Initiative is doing this, and but it's just 20 out of the millions of young people. So this may be the concluding part of our conversation. How would you encourage these people who churn out innovations but do not have institutional support, to scale up and get it the global attention that it really deserves?
I would say firstly that they should not give up hope on their ideas. They should not lose faith in their ideas. We ran the Climate Summit out of pocket. So when I say out of pocket, it means it was not funded by any organization, locally or internationally. So my wonderful executive director.
Your executive director is resilient.
Yes.
And she knows how to push and all of that. Yeah.
So I would say that for every young person building in Africa and in Nigeria, you have to be resilient. It is part of our DNA. we cannot, there's a time where you lick your wounds and just keep pushing,
Right.
because you know that you're actually going to achieve something at the end of the day. Another thing would be reach out to collaborate with other organizations. Collaboration is very important. For example, we have collaborated with RASEP. That is why
we are here.
we are always getting support from RASEP. We cannot, completely pay for everything that we gain from the organization. We have enjoyed from other organizations as well, who might not give you the cash, but might give you an introduction. Sometimes an introduction is all you need for the next phase of what you want to do.
Absolutely.
Now, apart from the fact that we might not have local support, there's global support. I would advise every person building in climate change to position themselves to get global funding and global support to be able to do that work. But that would come by when they are in community. So don't work in silos, right? If you are building in Nigeria and building in Africa, ensure that you make yourself part of a community. Get introduced to people, meet new people, and network with them. The next I would say is, when building, also ensure that you are visible. Whatever it is you are building, let people know it. Create something around it that helps people see what you are doing, because even if you are supposed to access international funding, they would need to know, what have you done? Where have you done it? Who can attest to the benefits of what you have done? Which is why I would advise that don't build in silos. Work with people. Ensure that you do not lose your resilience. Many a times, things have to grow on the ground for a long time before any offshoot shows. The Agba Dobeke initiative has been building on the ground for so long. We're believing that this year is that year where we step out of our box and really do big things and get this kind of support that we need. And that's why we are here. And that's why we keep talking about what we do, and we would not get tired. So I would say, reach out, ensure that you are visible. Don't work alone. Get people to work with you, and then seek international funding. There's funding available.
Absolutely.
Ensure that you get yourself piped into.
Absolutely.
All right, so just before we go, because we have a few minutes before we log out of here, where do you see women that's actually into you in the next couple of years, say 10 years from now?
Women who are?
Who are trained
pass
with
through
you?
your
Pass
fellowship.
through you.
Right.
Okay, so...
And then maybe you also want to tell other women how they can actually contact you.
All right. So where do I see them in the next, let's say in the next 12 months now? Let's start with 12 months.
Okay.
In the next 12 months, I see a minimum of 50% of these women starting their own initiatives. From the projects we have that they have discussed already, you see people who want to run something of their own, right? So we see them having initiatives, which is why we as the mother body now has to work to ensure that we're able to get some sort of funding that we can use to say, while you are building, let's support you so that you are able to keep going. Also, the next is that I see many of them working with at least another 30% working with global organizations. Because we are piping them, for example, for our graduation, we're going to have international organizations attend as well. We are an organization that has attended COP 34 times, the COP events 4 times. We have gone for CSW 70, we are at UN GA events. We're going to global
I have the entire list of all.
We're going to a lot of international events.
Right.
So one of the things that I know very well that my ED does is she does not hide opportunities. If she had an idea that you could run, that you've had the funding and the time, she would push all of that idea to you and not look for any credit. So we are an organization that wants to build other organizations. So definitely 30% of these women will be working with international organizations. Why? We will source it, we will push them for it, we will prepare them for it. Because if they are prepared, organizations will want to say, okay, we are so and so country, we want you to come over. Now imagine our Kenyan lady saying, oh, another Kenyan person. For example, we have Kenyan people, different countries come on our webinars. Now these people have organizations of their own, and they always try to say, oh, everybody, that's my ED. I think this your girl is doing well. Can she come and support us? Can they work with us? People would want to work with them. We're going to train them so well. We're having the CEO of Vivacity Development, the loudest voice in future of work, come to train these women on soft skills, future of work, how to scale at a job. What it means, they're not just getting local training, they're getting international training. So yes, we should have like 30% of them working with global organization, 50% already having their own projects and initiatives, right? And then the rest here, working, because we have some that are students who believe that through this fellowship, they will be able to design a career path for themselves.
Absolutely.
So we see them going ahead and doing very big things, getting masters, accelerating to masters programs and furthering their education to become big. So I'm really excited about this fellowship. I'm really excited. We have a good plan in place, and God willing, we are able to push it through to the end and ensure that these women have the launch pad they need for the rest of their lives.
Ms. Caminos, before you leave, how do they contact you for people who have questions, observations, maybe even sponsorship?
Okay, thank you so much. We would really, really love that sponsorship part. Now, if you want to reach us, our website is ebadebekiinitiative.org, so www.ebadebekiinitiative.org. You can also search out my name, Faith Caminos, on any social media handle. That's my name across board. And you can send a DM and be very excited to answer and reply. If you want to send a WhatsApp message, send a message to 070-6461-7817. Can I just say that? 4-6.
Has been Faith Caminos, Director of Operations and Strategy at the Ebadebeki Initiative. Thank you so much for being part of this.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed my time here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that's it for RASEB Africa today. We've had a wonderful conversation discussing climate and the She Leads Green Fellowship. Promises to be very interesting. Look out for it. There's lessons to be learned as those fellows go about their business. So that's it for it. I am Joy Asaye.
And I am Uime and Netia. Good morning.